Certificate of approval. Safety manual. User manual. Cat6 cable. Power code. DVI to HDMI cable. HDMI to HDMI cable. USB control cable. Here we have our display, selection knob, and selection switches. These are the control section and USB, light sensors, SDI loop, HDMI input, HDMI loop, second HDMI input, DVI input, and DVI loop. And here we have LED outputs. Loading capacity is 26 lakh pixels. Maximum output width and height is 10,240 pixels and 8,192 pixels. VX400 can work with VCAN and Smart LCT, optical fiber outputs, and monitor output. This is the power inlet and on-off button. After turning the power on, select the language you prefer. In display, the first section is main, which is the input signals. PIP is the second layer because it supports 2 layers. This is the screen resolution, number of ports, connection symbol, and brightness are shown here. In this area, we have input selection buttons, main layer button, PIP layer button, and scale button. At last, we have a function area. In this part, we have a preset button, a freeze button, a test button, and a function button. When we click the menu button, the first option is the brightness. We can control the brightness of the screen from here. The second option is screen configuration. In this option, we have quick configuration. If we set rows and columns in this, we can configure the screen easily. The next option is send RCFGX file. If we load the RCFGX file through the software, we can send it easily. In more settings, we can enable and disable the mapping. We can also make color adjustment on the LED screen. And we can select the output frame rate. In the third option, layer settings, VX400 can support 2 layers. This is the first layer setting, and this is the second layer setting. Next option is input settings. We can change EDAD settings here. In preset settings, just like in VX1, we can set and save the screen as a preset for easy use. In this, up to 10 presets can be saved. The next one is image mosaic. It is used to create a single screen using multiple processors. We have display control as the next option in this. We can control the status of the display from here. The next option is advanced settings. In this option, we can select the mode primary or backup, and we have options to select input backup, synchronization option. Next is HDMI output option. Here we can adjust monitor output resolution, to adjust the audio output, and to turn on/off the audio output. Options to enable and disable the input HDCP, to turn on or off the low latency, and to choose optical mode backup or primary. The next option we have in VX400 is system settings. In system settings, the first option is the FN button. We can choose which function we need to enable in the FN button. We have the return to home option and diagnostic to correct the status. And in the about option, we can see the firmware version and else. Factory reset is the next option. We have 3 different options in factory reset. There are partial reset options, reset all options, and the option to reset IP only. In communication, we can set up IP for access through the network. Next, we have working mode in VX4. It has 3 working modes. We can use it as a video controller, fiber converter, and bypass. The last option is language. We can change the language here. Currently, we have an English and Chinese version in VX400. These are the options in the VX400 menu.